Hey everyone, welcome to my Florida garden where my entire backyard is a garden that I have designed for butterflies, and it's time for a May tour. And make sure you watch to the end of the video because I am going to show you a before picture that's just going to completely show you how transformed my garden was from what it used to be. So stay tuned for that. Let's get on with the tour. Starting at my workspace facing out, we're going to enter the garden this way. Usually I film my garden tours from the other end, but I thought it'd be fun to do something different. So right here is my huge potted Rudbeckia hirta, and here are my two potted trees, the red bay and the sweet bay magnolia. Those are both host plants. And then we come right into my pentas and zinnia bed. I've noticed these zinnias that grow taller, like this one and the coral one, the butterflies are much more prone to land on than the ones that are lower, for sure. It's like a landing pad just for them. So they frequently visit these two zinnias. But I want to show you this zinnia over here. Of course, it's leaning away from me, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this zinnia. Now, I don't see the butterflies land on it as much because it doesn't have that full center of pollen like this one here and like this one here, the tall one. So they definitely prefer this type of zinnia. So if you're buying zinnia seeds, look at the photos. If you want them for butterflies, look at the photos of the flower and see if it's like a flat landing surface with the pollen on top. That's what they prefer. And then over in this garden, which we just rearranged in my last video, there's another tall zinnia. Right here, it's beautiful pink. They land on this one a lot too. So here we are on the other side. That over there is where we just came from. And now I have another big pot of Rudbeckia hirta here. And then this bed is mostly filled with the Mexican sunflowers and some pentas. These ones have yet to bloom, but boy, when they do, is that going to be fantastic. They're getting ready to set buds. But the other ones back here are all blooming. And these flowers get tons of visitors. If you follow my Facebook page where I post all of my photographs, you will see so many photos with butterflies either on the Mexican sunflower or the pentas. Now we'll head on back to the new section that we put in a few videos ago. It's still looking good. All the milkweed in this section has grown back nicely, including the aquatic milkweed, and it's all flowering too. But there are no monarch caterpillars anywhere to be found in my garden, and that's concerning. And my beautiful papaya tree. Look at those flowers. I absolutely love them. I've shown you this in other videos, and they smell so good. And y'all, I do not have a good sense of smell, but I can smell these flowers. It's just incredible. And then right next door is the Maypop Mansion, and look at all of the blooming Passiflora incense flowers. They are absolutely gorgeous. Heading on out, we'll come around and go into the Maypop Mansion, which is still pretty much the same. It's housing all of my bronze fennel. I have a few plants that I need to plant in my garden sitting out here so they get watered regularly, because that fennel likes to be watered regularly. Here we are inside. There's my bromeliads still holding their little drinks of water. And all of this fennel still. You would think it would be covered with eggs, but no. I did release 2 eastern black swallowtails this morning. One was a male, one was a female. I just saw the female flying around over by my Maypop, not Maypop, I keep doing that, by my Passiflora incense that's over in my work area. So I'm hoping she'll come on into the garden, but no eggs yet. There's hope. There's male and a female out there. And then here's the view out, looking out from the Maypop Mansion. And then here's a view looking up, because it's almost completely grown over. And partway down the sides too. Here's a look at it from over here. And now that the flowers are blooming, it's just gorgeous. And then you can see from the side. And those beautiful flowers. The intricacy of the design of these just blows my mind. Oh, look. What perfect timing. Hello, little guy. They love to just get right up in there. It's like a little umbrella for them. Just get into all that pollen and nectar. Thank you, Mr. B, for being in the video. Thank you. Across from the flower gardens is my mainly monarch butterfly garden that's full of uneaten swamp milkweed, or Asclepias incarnata. And this section of my garden is pretty overgrown. We need to trim up the firebush. And I had been trimming my sweet almond tree, and it was going great, but then I noticed if I just let it go up tall, it blocks the ugly chimney. So I've been letting it grow up tall, and I want some of the pieces here to start going up tall to block the chimney view, and that way when we're sitting in our garden chairs, we see that beautiful sweet almond and not the chimney. One thing I am excited about in my milkweed garden is that we are about to flower Asclepias incarnata. Look at it. Look how lush it is. I have never seen milkweed look like this in my garden, because there are no caterpillars. All of the eggs that do get laid turn black. They are unviable. They're not parasitized. They're just like empty. So it's kind of weird, but I'm working on trying to find out what's up with that. Look at these buds. Oh, look. A couple flowers have opened. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it so much. Look at, that's just going to be so gorgeous. And they all are budding. So I'm going to get seeds, but I'm also concerned about why we don't have any viable eggs or caterpillars. And it's not just me, other people have been letting me know they're seeing the same thing. So if you're seeing the same thing, let me know, and let me know where you are. You don't have to tell me exactly where you are, but just, you know, your general area. And just on the other side of the milkweed garden is one of my wetland gardens that looks just all green. There's a bunch of different things growing up in here, but there's only 2 things blooming right now. Well, 3. I have frog fruit down here, and there's a bunch of narrow-leaf sunflower plants. Like, that thing drops seeds everywhere, and there's like probably 100 plants in here growing up, just all smashed together. But then I have my beautiful clustered bushmint. Did any of y'all go to the Nectary and buy any of my clustered bushmints? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. I delivered some last weekend. Look at this one. They're so pretty. And you can trim them and they'll bush out more. So you don't have to let them get that tall. Look how pretty that is. I don't know if you can see all the little things zipping around, but there's a lot of little pollinators zipping around in here. But another thing that's blooming besides the clustered bushmint is my sleepy hibiscus. Look at this. This is just the most beautiful shade of like a cool toned pink, like leaning more towards a purpley pink. And look, it's putting out new buds. And then these are seed pods. It's very easy to grow. I've grown a lot of them. The thing is that not many people want them because they're a wetland plant, but you could easily put these in a pot with a bowl under it that collects water, and it would be lovely and just fine. And it's a gorgeous addition. Now in the mornings when I come out, these will be wide open, but they go to sleep right away and close up like this. And I have seen pollinators like climb up inside the flower. So it's very cool. I love these. I've got another one coming up right here, and it's interesting because this seed must have landed and it's growing here, but it's just outside of where the wetland area is. So I'm having to give it lots of water, and I'd be curious to see how it does here where it's not in the area that stays more wet. And this is an Elliott's aster. It's coming up by seed. There were several others in here. Some of them I dug up. Here's another one. These bloom in the fall, as do the narrow-leaf sunflowers, as do the climbing aster. So in fall, this section will be putting on a different kind of show. These guys bloom all year, and these guys bloom most of the year, but then they have a period of dormancy, the clustered bushmint. So this section of the garden is usually always putting on some kind of a show. Then straight across, here's the milkweed garden. There's a little walkway, and you can see, look, this is a potting soil bag. This is a Bacopa minari. It is a host plant to the white peacock, but it likes a wet condition. So I put the bag in and put the soil on top of it. I just need to top it off and bury the bag, but it holds water very well, and it gets long tendrils, like they'll eventually grow over and hang down. And the reason I have this here is I used to have it growing down in the wetland garden, but the frog fruit is more dominant and kind of took over everything. So now I'm putting these guys in hanging baskets. I have 2 more of them over here. They're just sitting in some water, and you can see how they grow. So I think they'll be really cool in pots. And these guys are sitting here waiting to get moved into their own hanging baskets. And what's interesting is if you look up Bacopa monnieri, it comes up like as medicinal and supplements before you find the plant. Apparently it is edible, but it also has some benefits for brain health. So I don't know, you can research it. I just found that out because I was looking it up and I was like, I want to know about the plant, not the supplement. So there's that. And then just beyond that is the pipevine that we planted and trellised, and it's still not growing up the trellis. The firebush is. But it will. I water it regularly. It seems to me to be extremely slow growing. But what I really want is the caterpillars to come. I have not seen a Polydamas swallowtail yet this year. Then right across this little walkway is the other half of the wetland garden, and over here there are scarlet hibiscus, which are not blooming yet, but they are beautiful when they do, and I'm sure I'll be showing them to you when they are. There is another clustered bushmint, and there's a lot of snow square stems that are coming up from an original plant, and they look munched on, which I don't care. If something's not munching your leaves, to me that's a problem. Oh look. But I have a snow square stem right back there. You can see the bigger one. So it sent out lots of seeds, and now I have little babies of these just coming up everywhere. And that leads us down to my Florida native wildflower garden, where I have collected sample species, I guess you would say, of as many different native wildflowers as I can to get to know them and see what grows well, what butterflies like, and also to collect seeds from them and to grow them and sell them. So there's a large variety of plants in here. I'm not going to walk through and tell you name by name. We could be here for a very long time, but we'll just touch base with a few of them. Here's the first walkway that I put in, and you can see there's already weeds. Some Rudbeckia hirta. But to me, the stars of this garden is the starry rosinweed. These I just love. And I will say that butterflies land on these and like to get nectar from them. So I will see butterflies on these flowers. And again, they're high up, so that might be one of the reasons, but it's also that same type of flat flower you can land on with the pollen in the center that they seem to prefer. And then the one that we've been working on cleaning up is my Rudbeckia mollis, which it had a little rough patch, but we got it all staked up, and it seems to be doing better. And then these are the spent blooms from my white beard tongue, but there's a few more still blooming. I'm not sure if this is going to put out more flowers. This is my first year with it, so I'm learning. but I'm guessing I'm going to end up with some seeds, which will be fabulous. You can see I've got my hose there. My hose doesn't turn off all the way, so I just set it in a garden space when I'm in the middle of watering, because I was just giving that Rudbeckia mollis a drink there. It still looks very dry. This is behind all the tall plants because I planned accordingly and put the tall plants in front, so you can't see all these plants behind. And a lot of these are just having their basil leaves and haven't sent up the flowering stalks yet. But hopefully we'll be seeing some of these guys blooming soon. And some of them, like this, I don't know who this is. And this aster here, I think it's somebody said it's a salt marsh aster, they thought. And there's my tall ironweed, looks like it's going to be blooming soon. So there's a lot of fun things that are going to be happening in this space. And I am just so delighted with how this whole garden has turned out, because it's just neat seeing everything and what it does and when it blooms and what it looks like and whether it dies back or not. I mean, I know you can research and find out all of those things, but it's much more fun to see it in action. Oh, and the snow square stem I was telling you about, it flowers too. Let's get down into this plant. I love the colors of the stems. They're like a deep, like purpley color. And then with the deep green leaves, it's just so pretty in there. I love it. But then to top it off, they get these cool little flowers right here, and pollinators love them. Now this one only has one bloom right now, but it will get more and be covered, and it will give the clustered bushman over there a run for its money. But still, I do believe the clustered bushman is the preferred plant of the little flying pollinators. Okay, so let's get our bearings again. Wetland garden, milkweed, that's where we just were in the corner. Wildflower garden. And then this is the walkway that we just cleared, I think in the last video as well. We can walk through here now. And when we come through here, we come up to my wafer ash tree, which is a host plant. Yay! Giant swallowtail. Then to my shade garden. Where we find my spice bush that does not have any caterpillars on it. And my rouge plants, there's a velvet coffee back there. This is a wild black cherry tree, host plant to the eastern tiger swallowtail, and 359 other interesting creatures. And then down here we have frostweed. This too puts up beautiful white flowers. And pollinators love it. And then behind that is my pawpaw tree with no caterpillars on it. And my beautyberry, which is flowering. And that turns us over to the secret doorway, the giant elephant ear leaf that when we move it aside gives us entrance to the potted tree house. And it is up here where I have all my potted trees and some other assorted things that are growing. And there's also Passiflora incense growing everywhere up here. and flowering. And then these are my potted trees. Nice variety. Pawpaws, there's some spice bush, wild black cherry trees. And the ever popular wild lime for the giant swallowtails. And then this looks out over my garden. You can see from here how really tall the starry rosinweed are. Look how high they stick up from the rest of the garden. And then we're just on the other side of where we just were. There's the spice bush right there. And here's my huge monstera that I love. It is gorgeous, very tropical, just growing all over the place in there. And I love it. I love the pattern on the leaf. I just love it. I love everything about it. And then swinging around from there, false indigo. I showed you the blooms. They're all spent, but you can still see where they were. I should probably come out and see if I can get some seeds from that. And then right next to it, yeah, this is one of the first plants that we put in when we decided to turn our entire backyard into a butterfly habitat. And this is the sassafras tree. I love it. I love it. It is so near and dear to my heart. It is the host for the spice bush swallowtail. And I come out and check this thing every day for caterpillars. If you can find one of these, get one. It likes an understory setting underneath other trees. That's a scrub oak up above. And it's a really, really, really cool tree. It is deciduous, it has a period of dormancy, and the leaves go through a full color change in fall. It's incredible. I mean, I've said this before, why aren't these everywhere? I don't understand, but spread the word. I do think they have these on Joyful Butterfly, and I have an affiliate link below. You can go check. So that is pretty much the extent of the garden. And if you want to know what inside my garden room looks like right there, you can see that little structure right there. I don't know how well you can see it. That's the lepidarium, and it's full of adorable caterpillars. And I just filmed a members only video where I do a whole tour and show how I clean it out and take care of it, and you get to see all the cute little critters up close. That video will be posting later this week for you members. So if you want to see that, then join my channel. It's only $4.99 a month, and you get access to other things. But the best thing is you get this cool little emoji sticker by your name when you comment on my videos. And the best thing is you're helping spread the word of butterfly gardening and getting more and more spaces like this that put habitat back on this planet for these beautiful creatures. And it's pretty fabulous. I love it. I love sharing it with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, tap the like button. Tap the like button. Tap the like button. If you regularly watch my channel and haven't subscribed, if you could just tap that subscribe button, that would be so fabulous. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you are really invested in this channel, and it's free. Subscribe doesn't cost you anything. It's just a button that you push. Look at the lizard. You see him? And then, you know, you can always join the Milkweed Crew too. I'll put the information for joining the Milkweed Crew in the first comment on this video, but also the information is down in the description section. And I do believe that is the end of our tour for May. Oh, I've got to show you the picture. I have a photograph I found of my backyard before all of this happened. So I'm gonna make the photo pop up so you can see what this used to be. And hopefully it'll give you some inspiration. It's so doable, a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time, but it's very doable. See, there's that tall zinnia sticking up out there with a monarch on it. And with that, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Say hi to me in the comments, ask me questions, or just say hi. Oh, and those of you who told me where you were from on the community post, thank you. I love that. And if you haven't answered that post yet, go answer it. It's in the community tab on my channel page. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.